Great morning, fellow traders. This is Austin. It is Thursday, November 6th, and I'm getting a late start. It's also 10:19 Eastern. First trade of the day here in the Russell. Right around 9:15, about an hour ago, we had a area-wide power outage, a transformer on a telephone pole. We don't have buried service here where I live. We don't have a lot of things, but a transformer blew off the pole, sounded like a cannon shot, and it darkened half the town. The local service provider got us squared away, and we're back on track. I really didn't miss anything. Fortunately, anytime you're sitting through live market action during a power outage, it's always frustrating. But in today's case, um, missed nothing. So anyway, short here. Really, the bias on the Russell is neutral to down at this time. There's continuation sell around 1161.5. What I'm going to do is pre-stage that. Actually, I'm going to pre-stage it at the current session low, 61.4. If they take that out, then I'll be in a dual position here, no risk on the first. And if they come up and stop the first one out, then I'm going to cancel everything and reconfigure. You can see from a 5-minute chart, we've had no trend for days and days in this market. Yesterday was just one big wedge that made one little extension down, and then today so far is just more ugly consolidation. The stocks are due for a trend day, and I mean a pure trend day, a deliberate one, not just spike and whip and pound and news react and all that type of thing. So maybe this is it, and maybe it isn't. We also have the uncertainty of non-farm payroll tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern. So, and non-farm payroll sessions are usually not stellar. They're usually wedged up, choppy affairs past the news also. But once in a while, you get a really good big trend day, and so heads up on that. Anyway, that's where we're at. I'm looking to add here. If they keep going lower to any degree, I would punch out and be one and done for the day on a two-stage sequence. All right, so there's the ad. Basically, I've got one tick risk on the ad, and I'm sorry, 8 ticks risk on the ad, and plus 1 to the good on the initial. And I'm just going to manage these as two separate instances. If they come back up and take that first one out, the second one out, that's okay. I'm just going to ride with the first, and if they take both of them out, then the end result would be minus 7 ticks on one. It is currently 10:22 for reference. I'll let this run for just a smidge. Okay, they took the first one out. I'm sorry, the second one out. So the ad is out for minus 8 ticks. They gave the continuation sell, and they're just whipping back up. And the first position is still in. So the way it's recorded, I think, would be plus 1 tick on the first one. I'm not really sure. And then the second one, first in, first out is the accounting. But anyway, moral of the story is I'm working with minus 8 ticks right now, and I have plus 1 tick locked in on the first. So that's the ad didn't work, and the first one is for the moment, and there we go. So anyway, it is 10:23. All right, 10:24. I see how the accounting is currently. That first one, the first in first out thing, that was plus 9 ticks because the stop covering the second contract is applied to the first. So now I have it's marking me here as scratch on the second one. I don't know that that's the case, but anyways, there's no further risk on this position here, so I'm not sure, to be honest with you, how the accounting is going to go. We'll see if and when this one comes out at a more favorable level, or if it takes out this stop here. I don't know, but what I'm going to do is that, and then there we go. So anyway, they are just kind of chop bopping around overall. Prices inside of this mess from the past couple of days. You get all this congestion here. It's just trying to work through and is not. Be a little more scalpy on my exits today, if it continues to be trendless chop like we've endured for umpteen days in a row. All right. Well, there's the accounting, and the way that went is minus minus 10 ticks and plus 9 ticks the way they do the first in first out thing, whatever. So minus 10 ticks for now, and price is just chopping trendlessly, and we will await the next points of action. It's 1025. Okay, try the short side again. 1026. Got to reconfirm on the 1063 area, so short there, and I'm just going to manage one. I'm not going to try to juggle more than one contract here because price is not trending. It's just in a chop zone. So I'm just doing chop trading technique, which is aggressive on the exits. So there we are, currently minus 1 tick, and risking 8 ticks here plus potential slippage. And price is nowhere, and the bias is neutral chop with a slightly the bias is downside with a warning of neutral chop. So that's what we have. Let's see how it goes. 1027. Alright, it is 1029. Price is chopping. So I'm going to jam a stop and just punch that out. It's going nowhere. I'm just going to punch that out for par. Alright, there we are, par for the day. Price is in the middle of nowhere. Just another dead wedge chop. So I'm going to wait for something a little higher potential opportunity, because right now there's nothing. 10:29 Eastern. Okay, long trade fired off 63.5 seconds ago, and it's whipping around, as you can see. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. They're coming back inside the open range, so there's that. The next logical spot to test would be 1168 area, which happens to be today's high. It happens to be the top of the open range. It happens to be in the midst of yesterday's wedge congestion. All right, so all they're doing is just probing around in the range. Now, if this goes out on the stop, I'd be looking to short somewhere around 62. 1162 or slightly lower is the sell side. So that's the buy side, and I'm not doubling up on anything, and I'm not adding to anything. I'm just trading for straight ticks because we're in a trendless situation, and I'm just looking for spikes or drops and go from there. Currently at scratch with 5 ticks at risk. On the stop, it is 1049. Okay, trying it again. Last time stopped at par. Got a 1 tick protective stop. Maybe it's going to happen this time, or maybe it's going to keep chopping. I don't know. Day after day after day of trading this wedge chop is just so tiresome. For the love of God, can we have a trend day or something that oscillates? Not this time. Slipped one again. Slipping about every trade, which tells us that the markets are just totally illiquid. There's nothing happening. So how it goes? 1056. Okay, here it is, 1104. My 1163.5, 1163.4 long attempts got stopped repeatedly, and now so all I did was take a breakout above all congestion, and which was instead I was taking pattern pullbacks. Now I just took a pattern breakout, and that's going a little ways. So the next logical, like we discussed, back to the top of the open range. You can see where they've just wedged inside here and tested one side. Now they're going to test the other, and they're most likely going to test the other, and maybe they'll go through it and maybe they won't. So that's what we have. Another right now I'm currently at 0 ticks with a plus 1 tick stop on this, and I'm looking for 40 or 50, and I'm out should that happen. So maybe my little prayer asking for some deliberate market action and cessation to just the endless chop, maybe that's being granted here. Crossing our fingers. 1105. Quick update, 1118. Nothing much has gone on. You can see prices flagging inside of the open range and in the lower congestion area from yesterday. This is where they bounced the chop repeatedly, and that prior support became resistance, and now today it's filet mignon. You can see where resistance here, and now it's serving as support, and so it's just price. A very illiquid market. It's very messy. I'm trying to move from point A to B. The next objective is here, and of course there's a 90% probability on any given day that they hit the 233s, and so this just has a statistical probability of 90-ish%, 1177. Now I will tell you, I'd be long gone, out and long gone before that happens, but there's the statistical odds that it will. Not my concern right now. I'm looking for 40, 50 ticks and call it a day, but they may go, that far. So past here, the next sticky point that's visible is there. This is just standard technical analysis 101. See all the contact points of those swing highs from yesterday? The next magnet up, 1170, and that's what has my attention. So there we go. Working for now. Never know. 11:20 Eastern. 11:22. They've gone 35 ticks in favor, stalling where we thought they might at the top of the open range. So I'm just going to put in a 12 tick stop, and it's random. If they come down and take that out, then I'm going to see what's next. They went up with no energy, and they may pull back all the way. We just have nothing but messy chop, so that's an arbitrary decision. Take something instead of nothing, and then look for a different entry wherever that might happen at a different time today. So if it works in favor, that's great. If it doesn't, we're on the board, and we'll work with that. 11:23. Okay, 11:28. Prices come down, just about stopped out, and so I'm going to put in a 21 tick stop from 64.1 to 66.2. 21 tick stop. They've gone about 35 ticks. If they keep going up, that's great. If they don't, I'm going to take that much off the board, and we'll see what happens. Overall, it's just unstructured chop inside of the open range, inside of recent congestion. There's no energy yet. Price could easily spike and take off several handles higher. Could turn right around and plunge. Nobody knows. So the bias is up for now, so to speak, and we're going with that. 11:28. 11:43 Eastern it is. Price and the Russell is just chopped sideways, completely dead, going nowhere. Tomorrow is non-farm payroll Friday, and so discretion being the better part of valor, I'm done for the day. Going to shut it down with 21 ticks on, once again, I don't know, 6-7 turns, and just a directionless, trendless, go nowhere, choppy kind of session. This takes us one day closer to the next expansive, deliberate, oscillating, trend, directional kind of session, however you want to call that. It's got to be getting nearer, because this one's not it. Hope this helps. I will see you tomorrow for the non-farm payroll. Have a great one.